Okay, good evening. It's Luke Thomas, QuakePrediction.com here with the Earthquake channel. It is 10:56 in the evening on Tuesday, December 29th, 2020, and we're almost at the end of the year. Yay. I'll be glad when this year is over with. So we're going to take a look at the quakes that have happened during the last 24 hours. We had some big quakes, and we didn't do our forecast video yesterday because we're getting new equipment here and new computers. So we're on today, and we're going to look at the Chile first. We'll look at the Chile forecast, the quakes that hit in Chile, and the Chile forecast as well. We had a 4.5 here down just south of Santiago, Chile, and a 4.3 up in the northern part of Chile. And our forecast map here, the quake that hit down south of Santiago was in the 55% risk area. And the one up here was in the, I believe that was 40% risk area there. Very quiet in Central America. And one of the next forecasts, we had a 5.0 quake just north of Tokyo. And that quake was right here in Ibaraki, north of Tokyo, in our 55% risk area. In the Philippines, we had a 4.3 right here southeast of Cebu. And that quake occurred right here in the 95% risk area. And all these quakes down here, there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quakes that hit south of Davao. Those were all in the 98% risk area here in the far south portion of the Philippines. Quiet in Indonesia, nothing going on there. And over in Greece, we've got 2 quakes, one down south of Crete and one west of Athens. And the one west of Athens is right in this 45% risk area. We didn't do very well on that. And the one near Crete is in the 15%. Not very good on that one either. Over here in Italy and Croatia, we have a strong earthquake, a 6.4 earthquake hit southeast of Zagreb. Zagreb, is that how you pronounce it? Zagreb, Croatia, 6.4, and then a 4.4 there as well, a 4.8 and a 4.7 all hit south of Zagreb, Croatia. And a 4.6 hit west of Venice and north of Bologna, Italy, in the northern part of Italy. And you can see our forecast had the one in Italy was in the 95% risk area. The quake over in Croatia, that quake occurred right in here in the 85% risk area. So close to the main area of risk. But still in a very high risk area, 85% risk area. We're going to get to the forecast in a minute here. We had a 5.7 off the northwest coast of California and west of Oregon, and that occurred here in the 95% risk area offshore of Oregon. And in Alaska, we had a couple quakes in the south. You can see these quakes down here, 4.5. Near Sandpoint, and 4.5 southeast of Kodiak Island. And both of those quakes occurred in this hot spot here in the 90 and 95% risk area southwest of Anchorage. All right, now we're going to go to our forecast maps and give you an idea of what's going on for the next 24 hours or so. And we're going to get rid of these maps here. And we're going to start with the California forecast, and we'll go to the Los Angeles map. Okay, right now we have a pretty high risk from the 28th to 29th. Actually, we're getting out of this forecast. This forecast is ending, but we had an 85% risk along the coast, and then 90% near Santa Maria and Point Reyes and off the coast of Eureka here. But this one is expiring soon. We're going down to this map. And this is for the 29th and the 30th, where we are now. So we have 95% off the northeast coast of Eureka and Crescent City, and 50% risk across most of the other portion of California. And then on the 30th into the 31st, it's kind of quiet risk in California. But on the 31st into the 1st of January, we have a very high risk down near the Salton Sea, 95% risk, 98, 90 in the LA suburbs, and 85% up here in Santa Barbara area. And this risk is expanding, and I can see that maybe on the 2nd or 3rd, maybe a stronger earthquake up in this area near San Francisco. We'll have to see tomorrow. But for now, the risk on the 31st and the 1st remains down near the Salton Sea. Okay, let's go to the Alaska forecast. You can see this is where those quakes occurred here near Kodiak. And we're expecting a more significant, stronger earthquake between 5.0 and larger south of Anchorage, between Kodiak Island and Anchorage itself, somewhere in this 98% risk area here for the next 24 to 36 hours. And then it gets quiet after that. So look for a strong earthquake south of Anchorage and northeast of Kodiak Island during the next 24 hours or so. And in Chile, the highest risk is pretty much right now, 29th into the 30th. And you can see there's a risk over here in Argentina and Bolivia, and a 75% risk along the coast here near Antofagasta and northwest and near La Serena as well, 70%. And then that risk begins to quiet down. You can see 55 and 60 and 70. And then it gets even quieter to 50% on the 31st and the 1st. All right, here's an interesting forecast in Italy. We have this high risk across the north, which triggered those stronger quakes in Croatia and northern Italy. Now on the 30th into the 31st, which is coming up quickly, 30th and 31st, near Salerno prefecture or province is a very high risk, a 95% risk of a 4.0 to 5.0 on the 30th into the 31st. And then on the 31st into the 1st, we could get a 5.0 in that Salerno area near us. I believe that's southeast of Naples in Salerno province. So watch for that. In Italy, significant quake coming up there. And our Japan forecast, risk is up near Hokkaido, the far northeast, Hokkaido and Iwate and Sapporo, and off of Sendai, way in the northeast on the 29th and the 30th, still up near Hokkaido on the 30th, 31st, and still way up there near Hokkaido on the 31st and the 1st. And then on the 31st and the 1st, we get a risk down here near Miyazaki, Kumamoto, Nagasaki in the south here on the 31st in the 1st in Japan. Okay, in the Philippines, let's go over to the Philippines, and you can see those quakes have been hitting down here in the 98% risk down here. And most of the risk is remaining down there for now. 30th into the 31st, I believe it was Cebu, 90% risk in that area. And then on the 31st and the 1st, the risk is diminishing even farther to 80%. So the highest risk in the next is pretty much in the next 24 hours in the far, far south here, 95 to 98% risk. All right, over in Greece, the risk is in the far north in Albania and North Macedonia in the next 12 hours. But in the 30th into the 31st, in the next 24 hours, risk goes into southern Albania, farther western Greece. And then on the 31st into the new year, Albania and western Greece could get a 5.0 earthquake during that 24-hour period. All right, in Central America, the risk is down in Costa Rica and Panama, mostly in eastern Panama near Colombia and eastern Panama on the 29th and 30th, and the same thing on the 30th to 31st. And you can see down here in the 31st and the 1st of the new year, still in the eastern Panama into Colombia. This risk is building out here. You can see the 85 here and 90 here. So risk is building west of Costa Rica on the 31st and the 1st. All right, in Peru, the Peruvian forecast. Looks like a risk out here in western, I believe that's part of Brazil there, Brazil and far eastern Peru on the next 12 hours or so. And then the 30th into the 31st, we have a risk here in eastern Peru, far eastern Peru. And again, now this one's in northeast Peru on the 31st of December into the 1st of the year, 1st of January. Okay, Indonesia forecast. We have a 4.5 to 5.0 is possible off the shore of southern Sumatra right here. There's Jakarta, Indonesia right here. This is the island of Java. So out west of there in the ocean, 90% risk there. And then the risk diminishes to 75% on the 30th to 31st, and then diminishes even farther to 70% on the 31st into the new year, and 70% here in the eastern part of Java and Nusa Tenggara, I think the area there is. All right, Taiwan. In the far south, on the 29th and the 30th, we have an 80% risk there. So we could get a 4.0 to 4.5. And on the 30th into the 31st, we could get, we have 90% risk, so we could get a 5.0 in the far south. And then the risk diminishes a little bit to 85% in the far south on the 31st into the 1st. And in the Caribbean, very high risk in the Lesser Antilles for the next 12, 24 hours. And then that risk expands over here to the northeast part of the Caribbean to Puerto Rico on the 30th into the 31st. Pretty high risk during the 30th, 31st, and even the 31st and the 1st of the new year. In the northeast part of the Caribbean, northern Lesser Antilles over to Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico on the 31st and the 1st. So high risk during the next 48 hours in the northeast Caribbean. So watch for that. And the Seattle, Washington, Oregon, Idaho forecast. The risk remains pretty much offshore here. You can see the next 12 hours. And then onshore near the Vancouver Island and west of Seattle here on the 30th into the 31st, we get a 4.0 to 5.0 is possible offshore there. Maybe even on the coast there, northwest of Seattle on the 30th to 31st. And the risk moves farther offshore on the 31st into the 1st. And Turkey's forecast. Turkey, Syria, northern Iraq, Cyprus. Most of the risk during this forecast period, 29th through the 1st of January, remains in the far northwest. And then by the 31st to the 1st, it's kind of in the western portion. Now, these numbers are a little high for Greece. So if you're going to see the Greece forecast, go over to the Greece forecast itself. The numbers are high because these numbers are very low here, so the contrast. But 80 to 85% risk, 4.0 to 4.5 is possible in Western Turkey during the next 36 to 48 hours. And also near southwest of Istanbul to northwest of Istanbul, 4.0 to 4.5 is possible. Most of this risk is farther to the northwest. All right, let's go back to the California forecast once more. And you can see most of the risk is offshore right now tonight. And then tomorrow it moves into Eureka and Crescent City in the northwest part of California on the 29th, 30th. Kind of quiet the 30th to the 31st, but then on the 31st, evening of the 31st of the new year, very high risk down near the Salton Sea. And that'll begin to extend up into San Francisco Bay, I believe, in the 2nd and the 3rd of January. We'll have to keep an eye on this. But for now, the 31st and the 1st, it looks like east of San Diego near the Salton Sea. So, all right. Thank you so much for watching today. And have a great, what day is it today again? It's the 29th, going into the 30th. So we've got a couple more days of this wonderful 2020. And so have a great couple days left of this year, and Happy New Year if I don't see you or talk to you before then. And we will be back tomorrow with all our new computer system here. We're very happy about it. And we will be back on the 30th, December 30th at night, and then the 31st at night. We're going to be here every night and keeping you informed and keeping you safe. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe here at YouTube. And thanks to everybody that supports us after 15 years of research. Very excited about that. And have a good night. Till tomorrow.